Hey guys, my name is Victoria Munoz, and today we're interviewing my brother, Nicholas Munoz, and I am so excited because I haven't seen him in a long time, and this man is crazy up here. So I am so excited to see what what he's willing to share with us. So if you would like to say anything, just introduce yourself.
All right, so like she said, my name is Nicholas Munoz. I'm her bigger brother, and I'm very excited to be here. Like she said, I haven't talked to her in a long time, so I can't wait to get to this conversation.
Okay, bet. So the topic of today is understanding one true self. The first question is, what are the two biggest lessons you have learned? And before we get there, what's something that you would like to share of like that struggle or something that it happened to you when you were little, like something that you feel comfortable sharing, that you feel like a lot of people are going through that in that like during these times, or have gone or currently going, through that, and that you would like to tell them like, hey, like I am in the same situation as you, like it's okay.
Um, so like a situation that like relates to kind of understanding myself and something that like kind of made me more conscious about just life in general was I guess it was a situation, but more of a like it happened. Like what I'm gonna be able to say, it's not like a conscious situation, and that it's not really specific, but it's more of like um, of it just happening. But
Mm-hmm.
one thing I experienced growing up was like me being around a lot of people that weren't as I guess educated or smart, and growing up and where I did and how I was, I guess I wasn't the smartest person, but I always knew that um, I had potential. Um, like I was good at sports. I wasn't bad at like school. Like I slacked a little bit because procrastination, all that stuff. Everybody does that, but just growing up with the people around me, like some people were motivated and some people weren't. Some people were smart. Some people were dumb. Some people had common sense. Other people didn't. So like I could really tell the difference between someone who was knowledgeable and could give me some like you know some advice for to benefit me, and there was other people who I just saw like I can't listen to anything they say. I can't listen to nothing like even if they try to help me out for some advice, like I can't really take what they're saying seriously just because not that and especially not that they're good people. Like good people could get bad advice, and bad people could get good advice too. So it's kind of that dynamic of like I'm gonna respect this person. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, I know what just happened,
Yeah,
but
sorry, I'm actually listening. Yeah.
so but it's the fact that like when someone that you know is good is giving you advice, but you can't really take it because it
Hmm.
doesn't like really apply to you or it's not like helpful. You usually gotta respect them and just listen to them. And after you're done talking, just let it be. Like they talk to you, they feel good about themselves because they try to help you. But obviously you're not gonna use that advice. But
Yeah.
someone who is like who is bad and is giving good advice that applies to you and that like you can really use in life. You got to take it, but not give them the total respect as you want. Just
Hmm.
because people who are bad, I mean, I guess it's subjective on why they are bad, but like when they do bad things and that you don't agree with in a moral standpoint, then and they give you some information and they're really helpful, you can say thank you, whatever, but you can't praise them as someone who would be like more morally right, just because
Hmm.
people like those type of people thrive on that like praise because of them doing something good in a bad way or giving you something but in a bad way or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But so let me tie this back to my main point is that
Hmm.
I grew up around a lot of people who weren't as helpful as I needed them to be, and this is like a
Hmm.
lot of people everywhere. But you pick and choose who you find as role models, and either that might be in school or outside in sports or outside in the streets or wherever it may be. Um,
Mhm.
but you just you gotta be smart enough to like know the difference between someone that's there to help you or someone that's there to guide you in that experience. They can be teachers. Like I've had teachers since obviously like forever, but they would
Mhm.
never. Some of them were just teachers teaching me a subject and that's it. But there were other teachers who taught me like lessons that really stuck with me like throughout my whole career of school. And
Mhm.
it was because I had a feeling with those teachers that like I these people are smart. All my teachers are smart, but these people I could sense that they care more about the kids. They care more about myself. So I took it into my hands to actually like talk to certain teachers and certain. So from fifth grade on to I
Mhm.
graduated high school, I had one teacher in each grade that like kind of helped me out and with that type of like area with like teaching me about life, myself, and like how to get through things and all that stuff. And it was just because I felt like those teachers could help me and that they would want to help me. So um, like I could have found a teacher that I talked to, and he could have gave me advice, but he probably wouldn't have gave it his full capacity that the teacher I did choose would have.
Yeah. Because I
So
mean, in a way, also. Oh, sorry.
what's that
I
again?
was going to say, I was going to say that in a way they're also learning because I feel like a lot of people, because going back to like you, like it's about picking it. What's it called? Choosing, picking and choosing.
Yeah,
It's like you have to decide which person because I feel like a lot of people do it out of good intentions, but at the same time it's like to them it's right. That's a good advice because that's what they're doing, even though what they're doing is wrong. And that also, going back to the praising part is because nobody has told them like, hey, this is not the correct thing to do. That's why they continue, doing it. And then they get to a point where they become so comfortable with that idea that they don't want to change it or they don't feel like there is another possibility of them bringing, what they're doing is wrong. And I feel like I actually can relate a lot with you when it comes to like school. Like I haven't, I've been like a big athlete at school. Like I did a lot of sports and I was in other clubs. I had always a teacher that will encourage me to like believe in myself because they always say, Victoria, you're gonna go far in in this world, you're gonna do all this thing. I remember when I went, my sister was still in school, in high school, because I graduated first. I will go to like the shows and stuff, and I see my teachers, my old teachers, and be like, how's it going, how is the fitness program doing, how's your little business in the side doing. So it's like having those people that like once believe in you and like seeing them again or just like thinking back to the things that they did for you, when it comes to like providing you that extra work or extra help, it's really like it really is encouraging because it's like it makes you realize that you have that potential within yourself that that other people see that you might not see, or you might not yet see. So I mean that's good that you kind of like choose, like, okay, so I know like this world is messed up basically, but I'm gonna find the people that are gonna help it make a bit better and then make me grow, as a person. So that's pretty sorry. That's really good that
yeah,
you took that approach.
and it's definitely hard too because like obviously when you're younger growing up, you expect a lot of people to be good. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so going into like anything, even if like even if I did choose the people I did choose and I thought they were good, like if I like used the advice that they gave me and it turned out that that wasn't not a positive way of thinking about things or not a good way of going about things,
Mm-hmm.
then they'll be like, damn, like I wasted all that time. But then again, though, it's not wasting time because like people say, like
You
you
learn.
have to lose to win. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't just win all the time. Like just winning and winning isn't everything. Like if you win, then
Mm-hmm.
you don't learn. So
Yeah.
learning is the
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 journey.
yeah is the journey. So if you don't learn and if you don't pick wrong things, you don't pick wrong people, then you will never know how to pick good people or how to pick better situations for yourself. So it's like you're guessing all through life, and you don't want to do that. You want to do calculated moves. So like You could be
Yeah.
strategic and like not be able to fuck yourself. You could tell from a mile away, like, that's a bad situation. I'm gonna go this way because I know I've
Mhm.
been through it already. So
Yeah.
that's yeah. So and like I said too, like I no, I didn't say that, but I never always pick good people. You know what I'm saying? I never always pick good
Mhm.
situations. So it's the fact that like I took I didn't dwell on those situations and I didn't dwell on me choosing the wrong things. Instead, I focus more on learning about them and how I won't choose them next time. So, and you have those people in your life that are like really critical about you choosing right or you doing the best. I say you how you say it, like using your potential to the fullest, pretty much. Um,
Mhm.
but at the same time, it's like we're all human, so we're not gonna always succeed in every aspect. So if I fail,
Yeah.
like people can't get mad at you unless it was a deliberate, choice that brought you to that end point of you failing or you do something bad to some other people. But like say like I would think about this too. It's like I ask my friends sometimes like, how many times do you guys think that you made a choice and that choice led to someone this is kind of fucked up, but like dying. You know what I'm saying? I
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
think, just think about like Final Destination, and obviously that's kind of a force, but like how all those little situations happen, and then it leads to this, to this, to this, then somebody dies at the end. It's like how many times do you think that whatever you did led to someone, dying or whatever it may be? And like it's like that's kind of crazy because even if you do make a good choice, it might have a bad end result, like across the world or down the street or wherever it may be. So like if say like you were like God and you were looking at what people were doing and they were doing good things, but those good things would lead into like bad things. Like the person did good in the beginning, but it led to something very bad. So technically, was it a good choice? Type thing.
Yeah.
So
No,
obviously,
actually, it's so funny. Sorry. Go ahead.
obviously,
I was
like
just.
for the
Mhm.
individual person, it is good because like I can only control what I'm doing, and I
Mhm.
can't control what happens after that. And people can't aren't psychic to be like, all right, if I do this, this will happen. So it makes sense that like you can only focus on what you're doing, and if you do good, then I did good. Um, and I guess we can't try to play God and try to be like, well, what will happen? What would the butterfly effect be if I do this? What will happen?
Mhm.
Like so that's why uh, like having that like strategic way of thinking of like, all right, if I go out tonight with this person and they're gonna get this drunk, 'cause I know they like to drink, and we're at this place where I know there's a lot of bad people that don't deal with that or pick on people who get fucked up.
Mhm.
We're gonna do something else. So
Yeah. Like be mindful of the things that you do, basically, because in a way, everything, has a. Yeah, that's funny you brought up the Final Destination. I actually watched that movie and I kind of got a little bit obsessed. Not obsessed, but like I did watch it because I was like I like to look at things psychologically, and I was like, the fact that somebody thought of this and then it can be like it kind of was like, maybe I should think of how we got there. Like how everything that we do, like how you came with that conclusion as well. Because I kind of do look at life as that perspective, like coming like, okay, so I will make sure that like if I'm going like if I go have to go to work and I'm late because I been going to sleep late last night and I tried to speed, like would I accidentally get put somebody else at risk because I tried to go so fast that they don't see me and then they actually don't see me and they hit somebody, and it might not get to death, but it might get to like them getting hurt badly. So it's like you kind of cause the beginning of stuff. So it's like now that you like just because you wake up late because you fell asleep late, because you went to sleep late, you wake up late, like instead of like, okay, I need to like be selfish and like do something that might like it's gonna help me but it's gonna might put other people at risk, or you get to choose like, oh, I'm gonna be late anyway, so like I'm not gonna put myself in a situation where it might putting me and other person in a worse, part. Because it's like if you hit somebody or something happening, then it's like that's gonna make you extra late, or that's gonna like impact somebody else's life, because that person probably was going to work, they were right on time, and now you make them late, or you hurt them, and now they can't work. So you do have to, like, when there comes to situations where um there might be like more risk involved, then you do have to stop and think. And I think that's something that I had to like learn the hard way, because I did have like a lot of bad friends, and they weren't bad people. They just make bad decisions because they thought that that was like the most fun thing, or like the things that they could do, because like it's not gonna like affect anybody else, because they weren't thinking of like the consequences of everything. But they did affect other people in the long term. Like they affected them emotionally, and and physically
Sorry,
too, because it's like
you
they
cut out.
limited them.
You cut out. I didn't hear
What?
you. You cut off for like 10
Okay,
seconds.
where? Okay, so I was saying that they do end up affecting those people in the long term, emotionally, or physically, because they kind of stop them from doing that extra thing that they were supposed to do with their life. Can you hear me? Okay, let me pause it for one
Yeah.
second so I
Okay.
can
Yeah.
move closer to the house. Can you hear me?
So like another lesson that I experienced that like made me uh I guess mature at a young
Mm-hmm.
age was seeing, and when I say this, it's not like I'm really bad at like violence. I saw a lot of violence going up, a lot of like you know negative way of thinking where it led to violence, or like deception or robbery or whatever. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and me growing up, I never felt that energy. I never. There was times where like I'll feel like that it was necessary, but not that like
Mm-hmm.
it was needed, or um, not that it was needed, but like that it was smart. It wasn't like viable, but violence is just natural in the animal kingdom, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But just the way it goes about. So like I've been around like a lot of like things where like people do a lot of violence, whatever. But I never like. It depended on what it was too, like the situation. Because if it was like one of my friends, like somebody like did something or whatever, and that's obviously I'm gonna be there. But if I was on the outside looking in, and I didn't know the situation, I'll look at it like, damn, like I wonder what's going on. But I'm wondering too, like, is it really worth it? Like, almost killing someone.
Guys,
You know,
stop,
almost.
buddy.
What?
Today's Dominican Father's Day.
It is.
Yeah, we should all come up. Record.
Yeah, do that then.
Yeah.
Uh. Yeah. So I'm like, I never felt that type of energy. Like, obviously, sometimes it'd be like different, but or just like most of the time, like probably there's definitely a better way to handle this. Like, if it
Mm-hmm.
really has to come down to somebody getting hospitalized or like beat to death or whatever it may be, then like there has to be a real reason behind it. And most
Mm-hmm.
times there wasn't. Most
Yeah,
times,
it was avoidable.
yeah. So people who are like that as well, who resort to violence easily, instead of like, understanding the situation and kind of like depicting it. And there could be one side that does try to do that, and the other one doesn't, and that is
Mm-hmm.
harder because if one side is trying to, communicate, and the other one's not, and like one party is, the reason why like the violence is coming to light because they're not willing to, resort to some other means. And sometimes people just are too prideful and the egos are just too high that they can't see no other way. Um, but then I think about it too is like the people who think like that, what do they have in their life? Who are they in the community to even feel that way? Like are they doing
Mm-hmm.
things for the community that like people know them about, or are they might be supporting their family, but are they moving their family in a way that like they will generate wealth? You know what I'm saying, or knowledge or whatever. Are they changing people's
Mm-hmm.
lives? Like what? Well, I don't understand like how people feel so prideful with having no nothing to feel prideful about. And obviously,
Mm-hmm.
people naturally feel that pride because they gotta you know how you say it, live and survive, and be trying to be like that alpha male or alpha
Mm-hmm.
person. But it's like most of the times, like a lot of people who are um, strong, wealthy, or influential necessarily aren't always physically strong. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time they're mental strong, and that mental
Yeah.
strength leads to being physically strong in all the and also other areas. So like
Yeah.
for people to be thinking like, oh, I deserve respect because I'm strong, I can fight, I'm a hard headed, but it's like I understand that, but there's people who are small, 150, don't work out, that have hundreds of people behind them ready to fight for them, and they don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
They just because of how they supported them, how they raised their mental, their IQs, their bank accounts. So
Mm-hmm.
people are willing to hurt someone for them, die for them, not because they're physically strong, because they're mentally strong, and have the ability to push other people in that direction as well. Um,
Mm-hmm.
like, and I feel like um, strength, anyways, is more connected to numbers um, than brute strength. Like they could be the strongest man in the world, but he can't take on 100 people at the same time.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I think also a lot of those people, like people that are that are bad when it comes to that, like they feel like such a high pride even though they have nothing. It's because they have a lot of confidence, and that their self-esteem is really low, and that they have to make it up by like faking it, in a way to make it, but at the same time it's like they're not making it to any end goal, like it's not like something like you said, like they're not doing anything to take care of the community, or they don't really have anything that's really helping them lift themselves up. Because I feel like the people that are wealthy because they're emotionally intelligent. Like they understand the difference between making a decision based on your emotions and making a decision based on logic and stuff. Because I
Exactly.
know, like since I've been reading a lot more about like successful people, that's kind of something that I keep looking. Like there's a few things that they all have in common, and I feel like one of them is that like it's about like self-esteem. Like when you believe that you can do something, and that you can and that what you're doing makes sense, not only for you but for everybody else. It's like you're like you become stronger, and then you're willing to take more risks, and also be mindful of the people surrounding you. Like you take more care of it because you understand that they're part of your journey, they're part of of your life. Like they're the ones, basically we're all like lifting each other up, like all we are all one that help each other to grow and experience things that we might thought that we could never. Because I feel like that's also kind of interesting how it works, because it's like people that are mean, they get less things, and they don't understand that the reason why they have less opportunity is because they're limiting themselves from that. Like they're putting themselves apart from everybody else and saying I don't deserve that, or people are not willing to do this because I don't I like I'm not worthy of it. But at the same time they demand it even though they don't even believe that they should have it. And that's also like the contradiction, because it's like they have like this constant fight within themselves of like people don't like me, and that's why I have to hate them. And it's like they kind of like constantly fight themselves and others because they don't understand, they don't take the time to understand that how they feel and why they feel the type of way. And that's why I feel like that's also why like they take decisions where they're willing to affect somebody else, and not willing to like just to work the extra mile to help that person understand their perspective, because it's like you don't have to force somebody to understand it, but you have to like put it in the table, and then this and let them decide if they want to choose that or not. You have to keep as many, you have to give so many like options, because another day people are gonna choose what's close to their morals, or something that it's close to what they believe and stuff like that.
Yeah. And
Sorry, go ahead.
no, you good, you good. That was a good point too. And like the reason why like I'm bringing up like certain people and like certain situations or certain like aspects of people is because not because I see them as uh, not good people or less people whatever, but just the fact that like I saw those type of actions and characteristics, and I was like, and I could feel in myself like that is not me. That is not how I think. That is not how I want to live my life. And I know that it would not produce the results that I want in life. If 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 those results are working for them, or if they're getting what they want out of what they how they're acting, and I don't know what they want at the end of the day because they're the only people. They're not talking to me about like that type of shit. But then good for them. But the only reason why those were big lessons for me was just because I could tell the difference between them and me, and how I want to live my life and how they're living their life. And I came to a point like later on where it was like I can't be around people who are like that. I could be around people who are about it. That if it comes to down situation, then people are willing to fight or whatever, like deal with it, but not physically or mentally get into a situation where we will have to do that or result. The first option is to result in that type of like action or thinking state. Like if it was bad choice or people were coming up to us or whatever it may be, and they were forcing it upon us, and we couldn't like deal with it in another way, and we had to deal with it
Mm-hmm.
that way, for, without us having the opportunity to change it. Then you gotta do what you gotta do. You can't really. Um, it's like not every situation is perfect, pretty much. Like you can't have it your way. It's not Burger King. You can't have it your way all the time. Um,
Yeah.
um, so yeah, so those situations just are just like really helpful because it just shows you if you feel comfortable around that, and you feel like they make sense and that they're right, then you might be you might have the same thinking state as them. You might feel the same way as them, and you might want to act the same way as them. But and that's not
Yeah.
bad. But when it gets to a point where like you're older, you might have kids, you might have a good job, and you have a lot of things that you don't want to lose, then you change the mindset change. Like there's a lot of people who have been in those gang lives, those cartel lives, those like secret service life type things, and the army, the military even, and they come back like years later after they're done with everything. That's it. They're kind of getting old. They want to relax, and then their mindset changed. They don't feel that not that it wasn't right, but just the way that they went about it was not right. Maybe some things will need
Yeah.
to be improved, but most of the things that the way they thought about things, the way they went about it, was not viable. And I guess if you're looking at it from like a either a business standpoint or a respect standpoint, then maybe they do make sense. But
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, everything
There's a
not
people.
yeah, everything not about business. People are people. People are
Mm-hmm.
just trying to survive as well. There's obviously gonna be competitors for businesses like say like McDonald's and Wendy's. But it's not that
Mm-hmm.
one employee doesn't like Wendy's or one employee doesn't like McDonald's. It's that they needed a job, and obviously they're
Mm-hmm.
gonna. It's like a team. It's like they're gonna fuck with the team more than the. You know what I'm saying? Not all the time. Obviously, some people may like McDonald's more than they work at Wendy's, but what I'm talking about like a serious like like committed group, just like a gang or a business that you started yourself or just anything like that. Like like Google and fucking Safari or something. I don't know. I know Google is different. Like Safari and Microsoft. No, that's different. Google,
Ben.
yeah,
Bing.
you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Bing.
Yeah, like Apple or Dell type thing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Andrew. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, just like stuff like that. Like by the end of the day, people just love competing. They also love making money. So, but money money is tough because like everybody needs it. You need money to have a good life, and you need it to feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
If you're homeless, like it is, you can't do much, and it's hard to get out of that hole. So no matter where you are, you gotta survive, and you gotta really work to get more money, more opportunities, and lift up your family better. So um, that
Mm-hmm.
that is tough because that's why people become violent because they either want to move up, they want to make more money. Um, the little business that they have, people are trying to come at them, or it's hard to live with what they're getting right now, and people don't want to live like
Mm-hmm.
that, obviously. So it is tough. But just seeing all that like psychology like type of happening in front of you, you gotta take it in for what it is, and really learn from it and pick and choose what kind of information that you want to use and have in your life, and learn from. So uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that's what I have to say about those lessons. And yeah,
That's good. I do agree a lot with what like what you have said, because like it's kind of like the same. Like even though we're in like might be in different locations, we kind of go through similar situations like that, like really similar. But that's something that also like that was kind of like the main thing that I have learned, that have made me more mature as a person is on learning from other people's mistakes and understanding that I can't like stay up on that. Like I have to move on. Basically, like I have to decide like, okay, this happened to me and it was really bad. But it's like now like I'm more conscious of like the things I did. Like one of the things that I always, think back or reflect is when I was crossing the street with my cousin because he asked me to go to sneak out it with my to get like this candy for my grandma and stuff. And I crossed the street and I stopped in the middle of the street, and and then like a motorcycle, like a moped hit me, and I like it literally threw me away, like miles away. And then I couldn't walk for 9 months. And I always think back to it as like
you what?
disobedience. Oh, so basically I got hit by a moped, like those like
Yeah,
motorcycle little things. Yeah, and it literally broke my two bones. So I couldn't walk for like 9 months. I had to like use either a wheelchair or the handicap, like those things that you put
yeah,
here. Like,
yeah,
yeah, I had to wear that. Yeah, and it was tough because I was a kid still, and like I feel like I was missing out on like some little games. As a kid, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't hang
yeah,
out with my friends,
yeah,
yeah, and stuff like that. It was limiting, but at the same time, it's like it reminded me that there was always a consequence to something, even though it might not seem like it was not like it was. It's just kids just being kids. Or it's like it's my cousin. Like he's not gonna put me anything like that. He's gonna take care of me. And then when I did end up doing it, that had like I couldn't do, like I limited myself because I decided that I was above the law, or not the law, but like above like what I know it was bad, like I was
yeah.
willing to take that decision even though I knew it was not good for me. um but yeah, I don't know. It's like something that always like I always think back to it. It's like what would it be? Like that was whole 9 months. I was waking up super early to go to therapy and physical therapy and stuff. So, but at the same time, it's like that also pushed because in a way that motivated me to do more sports because of that. Because I was like I couldn't do anything for 9 months, like really do anything like that. I joined like the swimming team, the lacrosse team, the soccer team, like and then the track team, and then I was doing all this stuff, and I was the captain of the Reds team. So because I was like, what, I thought I wasn't going to do anything else like that, like sport wise. So like I was like, what, I'm gonna prove myself that I'm able to do whatever I want, even though I already went through a situation. Because my mom used to believe that I was gonna get like I was gonna break my foot because I had this thing where it was harder for my bones to heal. I have like this calcification of my bones, and so it took a longer time to heal for my body to like if anything happened. So she was scared that I was gonna like break my leg again and I couldn't walk it. So
Is
but that
that right?
also kind of pushed me. Oh yeah, but it was a lot like yeah, but it was a long time ago. I don't know. It's just weird because like sometimes I forget about it. Like the only reason why I sometimes remember it's because like I'm going through like a situation similar to that. Like I'm like, okay, like I'm about to like make situation that might be a lot worse than I might think it is, you know, or when I look at my feed, because it's like a
Yeah.
little line there. But yeah, but I don't know, it's like even that situation helped me grow a lot more as a person, because I'm always like, you know, like let me think, let me be mindful of whatever I'm gonna do. Even sometimes I do, you know, bad things and stuff, but I know, I understand the consequences, and I try to look a little bit forward to it, like, you know. But I don't like stay up on that, you know. Like I'm like, okay, like, you know, I have to like, when like I still do the things, but not having it so much like right here, but right here, you know, the
Yeah.
consequences. Because it's like I look
Like
the goods and
you think of it, but
the
you
what?
don't let it. You think of it, but you don't
Yeah,
let it.
yeah. Because I mean, life is about experiencing, you know. And it's like, if you, I like the way I see things is like, if you're not hurting anybody, and then what you might be doing might help you grow as a person, you know, and that will help you help other people grow, then it's like, do it, you know. Because it's like the
Yeah.
pros are a lot higher than the, you know, the, the cons. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
That's I say that too. Like if you're not hurting anybody and whatever you're doing is like benefiting you, then
Hmm.
I feel like that's fine. Like if
Yeah.
you sound like a drug that like kills people, like it's like
Hmm.
it might be benefiting you, but you know what it's doing to other people. So
Yeah.
it's like how can you feel good about it? Or if you like say like how you say what am I thinking about? Yeah, I was thinking another like company that does something, say like Nike, who
Hmm.
and they outsource products. You know what I'm saying? They for to get cheaper labor. But
Hmm.
they it was helping them, but they knew that the people who were outsourcing also the place where they were outsourcing it, where the workers were doing all the work, getting paid less too. They were getting treated like shit. Like they weren't the work conditions were tough. They weren't sustainable for healthy living. Like some people committed suicide because of it. So like especially
Hmm.
for a big business like that to be like, you know what, we want to make a couple more $1 billion, so we're gonna outsource this stuff. So because we know these people need it, but we know that they're not gonna get paid a lot either way. And we know we don't have to really clean up the warehouse all the time and spend more money.
Hmm.
So we're just gonna do that. Like that to me is like kind of crazy because it's like how much money does a whole company need to be happy? You know what I'm saying? Like they
Hmm.
it would truly suck this whole world of all these resources and still want more. Like
Yeah.
they could become $1 trillion company and still be like, no, we'll get to the next bracket. I don't know what it is. Trillion. What? What's the next one? Like I don't know.
I'm not sure, but I know Trillion is pretty big. But I was going to say, like, I feel like as you get higher, you get caught up in like your expectations of your business become a lot higher as well, you know, because like you're getting more velocity than you seen that as an advantage of like, okay, now I can get double the money, even though they really don't need it. But it's like in this type of economy, like the open market economy, I think it's kind of what we are in. It's like there's no really limit to, and that because of that I feel like sometimes that makes people to go to extremes, you know, because a lot of companies are, you know, do that. They're willing to sacrifice their employees, like Amazon does that. Amazon makes the workers like put them in so much stress that they have like, you know, they just like get really really sick. They have to literally pee in the warehouse. I mean, they were striking like a few months ago, and nothing really had been done like to them, you know. Like they raised the minimum wage, but it's like that's not enough. Like the things that they're doing requires, you know, they should be rewarded for a higher, you know. Because it's like they also like not only put in their physical and mental health in both, you know. It's because it's like they're in so much stress. Like I have a friend that works there, and he's like, this is ridiculous. Like this man has so much money that he could like help these people, you know. Because that's, I mean, also that's the thing. It's like some people stay in the job just because they're trying to survive, you know, going back to the nature of like human beings. It's like we trying to continue, like, you know, trying to like provide for our families, and we sometimes forget about ourselves, you know, to like that we still matter. And then if you end up putting yourself in like a situation like that, then you're gonna end up hurting yourself. That's something that they don't understand. It's like by them putting there, they're prolonging, you know, their goals, or you know, their expectations of why they have to be given to their families. But yeah,
And
this war is crazy, and the way that it works.
it is because a lot of people too. It's like I feel bad because depending on who the person and how they grew up, they never really thought about what if I were to start a business. What would I do? What would make me happy to continue doing the business? Like say like if you like to throw events, throw parties, you could turn that into a
Mm-hmm.
business. If you like to make
Mm-hmm.
clothes, if you like to pick up trash and all that stuff, you can make anything into a business. So
Mm-hmm.
I think about sometimes like why do people? I mean, a lot of people do it, but what I'm saying is like a lot of people could quit the job with the money that they have and start their own business and like stay afloat for a little bit until it actually catches on. But I mean, I guess it's hard when you have responsibilities, you have kids, you have bills you gotta pay. So
Yeah,
you
it's a
guys,
higher risk, and also they don't believe yet fully on themselves. That's why they're
yeah,
not willing to take that risk. Because when you believe in yourself enough, you're willing to like struggle for like 3 years. Because the business is it's gonna take a long time to get to where you want it to do, or like the equilibrium, you know, where it's like you're good, like it's
yeah,
stable.
like you don't have to work again type thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But
That's the thing. It's like they forget to look like sometimes people are like looking at the short term, like oh they want to make 1,000, like 1 million the first year. Realistically, you are not gonna make that into like 5 years in, you know, like that easily.
yeah,
So
it depends what kind of business you're doing. Like if um if you're like a programmer or if you're like someone that like is good with like computers, you could probably make a good amount. You can make a good amount of money if you make a really nice program. But that could take a year to make. But you know what I'm saying? Like say someone
mm-hmm.
like who did Cash App, like
Mm-hmm.
they probably made very good money that first year. But it
Yeah.
depends what your skills are. Your skills truly depends on how much money you will make. So like
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, and like back to the point that you were saying, like a lot of people don't believe in themselves, which is kind of sad too. Because like, if you're good
Mm-hmm.
at talking, get a job that you can make a lot of money with your talking. If you go with your hands,
Oh. Mm-hmm.
if you go with your hands, find a masonry job, carpentry, engineering, something that makes a lot of money because you go with your hands. Like why stick with being a mechanic at an auto body? It's because they're getting you
Mm-hmm.
by. Like you can make so much more money and like stuff like that. Like if you have a certain skill, find an area in the job market where those skills could be really useful. You know what I'm saying? And go
Yeah.
for it. Like cooking. Like if you're really good at cooking, make a couple of videos on YouTube while working, send them out to some jobs and let them know what you could do. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah. I do think I going back to that, I also something I noticed too, it's like people focus so much of like, oh, I need to fix this, you know, instead of like, let me focus on what I'm good at and get better at it. And because that's really what's going to help you. Like, for example, you said, like, if you're good at talking, like, you know, do like more podcasts and eventually, you know, you will succeed on it. But at the same time, have, you know, something that's helping you. So it's not so much like you understand that there's risk, but you kind of like are making like making the risk a lot lower because it's like you have a backup even though this is your main goal, you know, because
exactly.
like I even like with personal training, like I you know I train people also, and I like do 3 sections a week and stuff like that, and I, you know, I still go to work and I try to do YouTube even though it's still you know a lot of they needs a lot of improvement, but I sometimes I know that I have the potential and I know that eventually something is gonna like click and people are gonna like, okay, I understand, like I want to be part of that conversation, or I want to, you know, see deeper what, you know, this person is talking about, like what they're doing and stuff. Because it's like you have to understand too, like I feel like people have to understand that there's always gonna be somebody that's interested. You know, it's gonna be hard to get to that person, but there's always somebody. You create like a little like a case like this and it's a poop, like it has like a little poop face, somebody, you might think what a ridiculous idea, but you like the idea, like somebody else might like it and they created it, and now somebody, like a bunch of people get it because they start like, okay, this is pretty cool, like they're trying to, like, they see things as an open mind, and they're like, okay, I actually like this is a good quality, it's funny. So it's like whatever you think that you might be good at, or there's something that you want to try, do it, because you're not, there's not much to lose, especially during this time, because it's like you are you're providing, the world's providing you a lot of time for you to focus and work on yourself, because you're not going to have like this kind of time again for a long time. Like right now, because of the pandemic, we're forced to be with ourselves, we're forced to be inside with our families and actually understanding them again, because I feel like also, family too, like I think it's very interesting how, like, I never like thought about it as deep as I do now, but like over a relationship with my family, it's a bit strange because we have grown up separate, like we all have our own lives. So now that we're all together and like try like seeing, okay, like this person is really like this, or like this is their point of view, it's like you like, wait a minute, this is not right, but it's because it's not like you're wrong as a family, it's just like things are, like you're understanding more that person, and you're getting to see that person like more, like you are learning to be a family more now because you're kind of forced to, and because you're investing more time, um so it goes back to like use anything that you do, it's like you have to focus, because it's like that's when you start seeing the bigger pictures, like you have a little perspective of what this situation might be, but if you don't take the time to analyze and be like, okay, let me back up and see it, like how you said about your friends, like when you like see it from outside perspective, not only as you see that you're like part of the scenario, but like you see as an not entertainer, but as a person that's viewing it, from like a audience, it's a whole different thing. So it's like you have to keep that in mind when making like decisions and going through life, because a lot of the times you kind of ignoring the reality of it because it's like you never felt like the need to,
Yeah.
and so like it gets a situation like that. Yeah. Okay, so you want to move to the third question?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to leave. Okay, actually, let me just say this one because I mean, might as well. Do you feel like there's a big inequality in the world?
Um,
Yeah.
I definitely,
So,
yeah. Um, to a certain extent, like they definitely, with the whole thing going on with like um, ice and
BLM.
what? No, ice,
We sorry. Oh,
ice,
guys. Okay, okay. Mm-hmm.
and just like people, racism and all that stuff. Um, and when I said talk about racism, I'm not talking about just like Caucasian people. I'm talking about like everybody who goes into that like mind state. Yeah, just like I don't know, cause that's a big topic too, cause that could that could go either way. Um,
Mm-hmm.
just like if you're talking about nature and survival of the fittest, like one thing, like it's survival of the fittest. People at the top, you know, for decades or generations, they've been smart enough to really get themselves there and stay there. The people who are working up there now, like Jeff Bezos, he's working hard in his life right now, like for his future family. But for inequality, um, there definitely is. But I'm not, I guess, one to speak about it. I don't really do like
Gotcha.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't do, like research and statistics to really like talk about it. But I definitely do feel like it. But then again, though,
There is.
I yeah, but then again, though, I feel like people could always create their own path. They could always do things that even though whatever color they are, whatever nationality, they could become a wealthy person, a really influential person, a person that people could look at and be like, I would like to be him. I would like to talk to him. I would love him to be my mentor and all that stuff. I don't think inequality
Mm-hmm.
even matters. to a certain extent. Um, I feel like as like a nation or a system of control, is
Mm-hmm.
used to keep people in distraction of uh, looking this way instead of looking at their path of how to get there. So it's kind of like a
Mm-hmm.
distraction that is easily fueled because people already do have perspectives on different people anyways, but
Mm-hmm.
that's been relevant forever. Like, but that doesn't matter. But like, if this African American has a business of like, uh, I'm mixing it up, like fixing toilets,
Mm-hmm.
and this white Asian or Hispanic person is racist to black people, but this guy is the only one that has a business that can fix a toilet because he needs to use it, and the family doesn't need to use it. What is he gonna do? Try to fix it himself? Maybe. And mind you, I'm talking about like a smaller audience. This person is the only one that has a like toilet company that could fix it, and this family can't find anybody else to do it. But it's like, damn, like I can't do it myself. I don't want to mess up my toilet anymore, so I'm gonna have to talk to him. And then
Mm-hmm.
if the guy goes up to him knowing that he's racist, like, oh, um, I don't like you, and I hate your kind, but I need your help. The guy gonna be like, the fuck, you know. So the toilet keeps on being broken. But he has to come up to him. He knows that he has to come up to him in a sense where like he's like, hey, kind of with some attitude, but like, hey, like my toilet's broken, and I need it fixed, like that. Boom, cordial. But he knows what's up. I got you. I'll fix it. Boom, boom, boom. They talk. He does his work. He does a good job, and like little things like that change people's like mindset. You know what I'm saying? And obviously,
Yeah.
we're talking in a world with like 7 billion people and like millions of different jobs. So obviously, that type of content would be kind of like not really valid, but it's a sense where like once people really meet the people that they don't like, and and the thing is, there will be people that they don't like in that group. But then again, though, they have people who are white or black or Spanish in their own ethnicity that they don't like either. So
Yeah.
it's about, like I said in the other like topics, find the right people, find the people that will make you think differently, that will make you feel good, that will benefit you. Um,
Mm-hmm. Make you grow.
yeah. So yeah. So I think inequality kind of just like it's definitely there, but I don't think it's a big obstacle. I think it's just a side street that people just want you to take so you can take the long way, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not really. It's not really. I mean, if you're talking about like getting a job and like them not hiring you because of whatever, blah blah blah, then that's different. But there's a bunch of other jobs. People just kind of don't want to keep looking. People just want to keep, you know, talking to new people. But like, you gotta do what you gotta do. You could start your own
Yeah.
business, but if you don't have that self esteem, or you don't have that those skills yet, or if you don't have that, you know, manufacturing, or if you don't have that equipment or resources, then it will take a little bit more time and a little bit more money. But it's the fact that you can't let inequality um, determine, uh,
Which effort you put in.
yeah, exactly how much effort you put into your path. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I think
And
it's a distraction completely.
I
Yeah.
think like I feel like inequality is inevitable, but it's all really how your outlook on it. Like you're gonna find people, you're gonna find other things that you don't like really go like really what's a good word for that? Like
agree with.
agree with, but you just gotta keep a positive outlook on it because you don't have to get along wherever you don't always have to agree. You can always agree or disagree, but it's all about how you look at it. Positive outlook.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah,
You go.
yeah. That's my take
Okay.
on it.
Okay. So there's two more questions. If you meet someone with similar struggles as you, what will you tell them? And I'm not sure if that's kind of repetitive because in a way you kind of respond that. But if you were like in person with that, like if you were like face to face, I mean, sorry, face to face with that person, how could you like, like tell them like, hey, like what would you tell them,
So how would I know um, that he did have the same kind of
Oh, it like kissing, like you kind of like look, like you're kind of like look over his situation, and so like, okay, I see
so
myself in there. Like
um,
the whole story basically. and then that's why you were able to see it and give like see it from different perspective, and which is yours, which you lived, but you already like went through it.
I think it's I
Like
think
a
it's
person, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I just feel like it's hard because I used to work at a summer camp as
Hmm.
a lifeguard, and a lot of the kids I used to talk to about stuff like this, and trying to like teach them and stuff. But I think it's kind of tough because like even though you say like I know what they're going through and stuff like that, like but then it's like I don't know their family. I don't know what they do on a daily. I don't know what they see on a daily basis. I don't know who they talk to on a daily basis. So it's kind of hard because like it's like say the little voice in your head, like that tells you good thing, that tells you bad thing. That's like your own little counselor that you have, but it only knows as much as you know. You know what I'm saying? It only can tell you much, only what you know, like as much as you know. So if someone from the outside trying to talk to you and give you advice, like I have done and that people have done for me, um, it's like I take that information, but I live on like me living like as myself every day, like living 24 hours all the time, sometimes with nobody, by myself, and always thinking, always trying to do better, but falling back to sometimes falling back to habit. It's like um, you forget some of the messages or advice that somebody gave you. You kind of
Yeah,
rely you kind of rely on yourself to really change yourself than what other people have said to yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's not like those people out there with you every day. They're walking in life with you. You know what I'm saying? Because they got other things to do. You know what I'm saying? They gave you
hmm,
some information that if you take, you take. If you don't, then whatever. But if they really
so it
do
goes
care,
back to,
yeah. So
yeah,
it's kind of hard. I feel like you just gotta give someone something, like you said, and hopefully they take it. Hopefully they listen to what you say and try to make a change in their lives, because that's all you can really do. Because you gotta survive too. You gotta keep leveling up too. Just because someone teaches you something doesn't mean that they don't need to be taught something in return.
yeah,
So
mm,
um, it just what I would tell them though is like, hey, like you know, life is not gonna get easier. It's only gonna get tougher. But the way to handle it is to make yourself stronger than what's coming at you. If
hmm,
that's working out, if that's reading more and listen to more people who are smarter than you talk, so you can like really understand how they think and how they go through stuff, or if it's doing something to just if it's meditating, if it's doing something that will make you more resilient, make you more uh, stronger, I guess, pretty much.
hmm,
But people don't. People think that's the thing though. People think about strength as in like power and boost strength, but like I said, like that's not always the case. Like a smart person could get
discipline.
yeah, a smart person could get out of fighting somebody just by the words that they use and confusing someone. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like I said before, like a person could not fight and have other people fight with them because of the compassion that they bring to other people, that they make them feel good or proud for themselves. So like, you know what? I'm gonna let my strength to him by fighting somebody else because I don't want that person to get hurt because he brings so much in my life that if someone's gonna get hurt, it's gonna be me. I'm
Hmm.
not gonna let him get hurt because he brings so much in my life that without him, I probably wouldn't be who I am. So you know what? I'll take this one for him, type thing. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
that's how my friends look at me. Like, yo, bro, if you're ever gonna fight, you're not fighting. I'm fighting for you. It's like I would never
Hmm.
ask him to do that because if someone wants to fight me, I'm gonna handle it. But the way they look at me, it's like I got you, bro. Like don't worry. So it's like I
Yeah.
respect it and I love him for that. And that's why I see the type of like what I'm telling you about compassion and people are sticking up for you. Like that love really does come back to you in some way. You know what I'm saying? If it's not
Hmm.
now, then it's later. But it has to be consistent. It can't be. You have your off days, you have your like your weird days, but the next day you just gotta go back on your grind. You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
the kids, or the people in general, even if they're older than you just gotta tell them like, if you don't take this, take it. But I just wanna take my time out to like really like talk to you about it. But just if you're not happy, and it might be a situation where it's your family that's not making you happy, or your kid not making you happy, or your job not making you happy, or your partner not making you happy, and it might be hard to like get out of that situation. But you gotta figure out a way to maneuver and maybe get out of it, or maybe change your tone or change your actions around a certain situation to really, change the outcome of it. Because if whatever happening and how you're acting in that situation right now is the reason why it's being caused still. So if you gotta change your attitude or your tone of voice or your routine or just the love that you give to that person, then you have to change it at some level, at some different like degree. So if you don't change,
Mm-hmm.
your situation won't change. But you got to understand what part you have to change to get the result that you want. You know what I'm saying? You can't
Mm-hmm.
say like, oh, this person doesn't love me, so I gotta love doing drugs so they can love me. No, that makes no sense. Like
Mm-hmm.
that won't work. You gotta change the way they
Yeah.
do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's like, that's a tough conversation because it's all circumstantial with people. So and like
Yeah.
and another thing about it too is like it could be a couple different people who are in my situation like that I could relate to, but that are in totally different situations that I would have to like.
Oh, like, yeah, or a different stage in your life. So you haven't like
Yeah,
got like the extra knowledge that help you push to that to make that other decision. Yeah.
and just think about like any sport that we played, right? Like you start out basics, then you got a little better, then you got better, better, better. Then at some point you were able to do like advanced stuff, and then you still got more to learn with like whatever. But especially with that, where how you feel and what you experienced, and something that you could tell that experience like the first stages of it. And so you can't just tell them the whole. You can't just skip through like step 1 to 10 and give them step 11. And that's the thing that's hard because you don't spend all the time with people. You don't spend like a lot of time.
Yeah.
If it's like one conversation, you can't go through all those steps and it's an hour because that's too much information. They won't know where to start. They have, or should I start step 5 because I understand it, or should I start? You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's why it's hard. Like that's why you can't really say much because you just gotta give them one thing that like you give them like motivation type thing. You can't like teach them a lot, I guess. But that one
Yeah, I
conversation
kind of
can,
had to do indirect.
yeah, exactly. But that's hard though.
Yeah,
That's
that's
hard though.
true. I actually never thought of that. Like that maybe because I always thought like, I went through that situation, so I'm gonna advise this person to, to not do that. But then I forget that because I took like for example 3 different decisions before that one, it was like it like the I learned the lesson like for the long term. Because sometimes like I feel like you can get out of a situation and think you learned something, but you you keep going through it because you haven't really learned the main point of that situation or like what that was supposed to teach you. Because I know like I've been like in the same situation so many times, and I never understood why I was keep happening. And I understand like I did was making the same decisions when it came to like that when like I was I kept doing the same thing before it occurred, but I never took the time to understand why I shouldn't. Like I know I shouldn't take it, but I was always willing to take it because I had the my mental strength wasn't as strong as my physical strength, in the sense of like actually going there and like making that like that situation where like I'm like, oh, I didn't want to do that, or where like I'm like, I know here that I don't want to do that. That's why I don't even take it to the step. Like even though if I'm not aligned with my physical self, I'm aligned with my mental one, which is the one that's gonna help me um make the decision that I actually want. Because it's not just something that I'm doing as a habit. Because I feel like also, like we can go back to like that one person, and it's like the reason why we keep doing it is because it becomes a habit. And when we and then we forget, then we want us to stop, we don't even know why we want us to stop. Like, why do we shouldn't go back to that one person? But in reality, when you analyze your situation, like your own situation, like, oh, well, this person did this, and like, make me feel this way and stuff, and show me that they didn't deserve my time. Then when you understand like why you don't want to do this, and like you have a reason why, then that's when you like are able to stop it from even happening. And like
Change.
it doesn't constantly, yeah, exactly, it changes, so it doesn't constantly happen over and over, um you know over life. I don't know, this is,
Yeah. And the thing
yeah.
about a lot of people think when like they come to life, like, well, in their lives, like bad things happen, but they don't understand why they're happening, and they don't really
Mhm.
notice that thing that they're doing are causing that bad thing to happen. So first is noticing what kind of action you're taking that lead you to that constant result of negative outcome, and then understanding and accepting that you're doing that not on purpose but like unconsciously, and then understanding
Mhm.
why you need to change it. Because if I keep walking down the street with all these thugs, I'm gonna keep getting robbed. But it's the fastest way to my job. But it's like, but if you keep walking down it, you're gonna get mugged. So you gotta take the long way. You gotta maybe get a car, maybe get a bike, so you can get through quicker, or whatever it might be. It's just that like things might be harder, but you never know. You're taking that extra long walk, you can meet someone that might be beneficial to you. You might be in a situation where it's a new job on the other side, so you don't even have to walk the long way. You know what I'm saying, or just something. You know what I'm saying, like,
Mhm.
and it's tough because change is always hard, but people just are scared at the end of the day. They're just being scared. Like people,
Yeah.
I don't think they're afraid of change. They're just scared of what the unknown is about. And and I guess it is scary. It's like jumping to, it's like, say like some movie shit where you're on a ledge, right? And people, things are coming at you, and you're on a cliff, and things are coming at you from the field or whatever, right? But it's like either that or you jump into like the dark water. It's like you know what's coming at you, and you know that it's gonna be bad, but you're scared of the water that's dark, but you don't know if anything's in there. There might be nothing in there at all. It might just
Mhm.
be an escape for you, and it might be good for you, but you're scared about it because you don't know what is what. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You're fearing the unknown, even if it might be the chance to save you. But
Yeah.
you know that the things who are gonna kill you, are gonna do bad things to you, are coming at you. But you're scared of something. And like say like they're gonna torture you, they're gonna do some crazy shit to you, and you know that. And then but this section over here where it's like I might there might be rocks under there, and there might be like sharks under there. But at least that would be, I don't know.
Better.
But you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
it's
I
tough.
think I know. Yeah,
It's tough, but
because it's like going back. Mhm.
yeah.
If you Yeah, if you go back to the metaphor of the job, like starting a business, you can either stay there and keep like getting mistreated and not earning enough money, or you can go out there and like fail for 3 years and then finally see your business succeed slowly. So it's like, because like most people stay in that first scenario where like they just stay in the same job because they're more scared of how much they're gonna lose and how much they're gonna struggle. But they forget that after that struggle, after that situation, after you learn more, you get more benefits out of there, because it's like you not longer have to work extra hours, or work for somebody that's like might not it doesn't have the same morals. They're not aligned with yours. Like you don't even like the kind of job that you're doing, basically. So it's like, oh, they're like deciding like, I'm willing to take this situation, like even though I might have to buy a bike, or I might have to like walk for a a longer street, but I know that I'm gonna be okay and I'm gonna be safe. Can you hear me? Oh, again, but yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah. It keeps
Oh,
sometimes, but then again though, I also feel like the reason why people are scared of change though is
Mm-hmm.
into it. Like, say someone who has been moving around their whole life because of the parents' job or whatever, they're probably more
Mm-hmm.
adaptable to change than people who have stayed in the same city that they lived in for their whole lives and stayed at the same school or nothing really changed in their life. That really forced them to be get out the comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
But but some people like me. Some people are that never that nothing really changed in their life are willing to change it no matter what. So it just I think a lot of people are willing to change. But I think
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of people who aren't who there's some people in life that like just like to keep things simple. They want to keep doing what they're doing, get the same money that get the same money they're getting, drive the same car, live in the same house, talk to the same people, and just live life like that,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll be fine with that. But then the other people who are like, nah, I need change. I need change every 6 months. I need change every 2 years. I need change cars, change houses, change people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Change jobs. And so it's like but you can't have one without both. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have both.
Yeah, there's always you have to kind of you have to create a balance, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And like same thing with like the good and bad people, like good advice and good bad advice. There has to be all that because if you always had good advice, you would never know what is bad advice. If you never had bad
Mm-hmm.
advice, you don't know what's good advice. And same thing with people, same thing with jobs, same thing with managers, same thing with bosses and opportunities, business ideas. So you need everything. You need the fucked up. You need the good, the couple of. But
Yeah, I
yeah, that's
agree.
what.
Okay, do you have any questions for me?
Um, but your business is the cleanup thing, right? The cleanup.
No. Oh yeah, no, that's not my business. That's my nonprofit organization. I have a nonprofit organization that's called World's Future Dream, and it focuses on helping the environment by picking up trash and educating the locals, and also feeding the homeless, and then providing students with like notebooks and stuff for school and clothes and families with food. So it's like four main things that it focus most on. But my business is it's Victoria Solution, and it's basically a eco-friendly business. I try to sell things that are handmade or like they're sustainable, like toothbrushes and like bamboo toothbrushes. Yeah.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah. What about you? Are you doing any business? I didn't you I saw you were doing like a little thrift store or something like that. Like, was it you or was it just your friend? Because I know you were selling some clothes on the gym. Like they have like the startup little
Stickers?
vintage.
What?
The
Vintage.
the was it the introvert or the heartbreak monster thing? Like this, not this, right?
No, I don't know. I don't know. I just saw that you had like your little section. I didn't see like exactly what you.
Sonder?
I
You
thought
talking
like
about Sonder?
maybe. What is
Yeah.
that?
So like, so I want to start a clothing line, and the company would be called Sonder, pretty much. So
And why that name?
so it's kind of cool though, because Sonder is like what we've been talking about the whole time. It's
Hmm.
the realization that everybody you walk by
My phone.
has a crazier or equally as crazy life story as you.
Oh wow.
You kind of, I feel like I like that a lot. Like so, I had that in my Twitter bio for like years,
Hmm.
but like I knew I wanted to start a clothing company, so I was like, what would be a good like name for it or whatever. And then like I knew about Sonder like, obviously for a while. Like wait, why not make Sonder? Like why not make Sonder a fucking like brand? So
Yeah,
I
because
would
it's
like
already part of you.
yeah exactly. And what I would do with it too, it would be like I would do a lot of like um, motivational stuff with it, with the coaching and everything. Like I have a bunch of ideas that I want to kind of implement, but I just haven't been really moving forward with it. because like I have a lot of bullshit going on right now that I just need to get over, and then after this, I would start. I actually started it. I made my first shirt last year, but
Hmm.
I got into the accident. So like after that, um, I was I was like I couldn't walk for like 6 months. I couldn't do anything. I could have
Oh
came up with
wow.
yeah. But when I got back to school though, like I started like designing more stuff, and but it was stupid though. Like the computer never fucking saved half of it, but um,
Oh.
so I gotta get back on that. But yeah, it's
Oh, I do. Sorry, I
it,
do remember
it's
now.
definitely something. Yeah, it's something that I really want to do, but I'm not really rushing it. Hopefully, somebody's gonna take it by the time I start doing it again. But
Hmm.
we'll see. We'll see.
Why don't you
But
register the name of it?
Sonder?
Yeah, that way, like in the idea, you can copyright the idea. Like you can name, like you can't put it where you pay like a fee, and then you basically get like a patent. I don't know. It's like basically something that says you own
Patent?
the idea or you
Yeah,
don't. You own
patent.
the
Right?
name. Patent.
So,
Yes, that's what.
yeah, yeah. I can't do that. I
Because
need
I
to
did
get.
that with my. Yeah,
It's so
actually do
expensive.
it. Like make
Will
it a
you,
priority.
did you do that to yours, your business?
Yeah. Hmm.
How much did you end up paying for that?
Okay, so I kind of messed up, so I paid like $1,000, but it was because I paid for it twice and then I was late, but it's only like $600.
Not
That's
bad.
not bad. Why did you pay? Why
Yeah,
did
and
you pay twice?
because my dumbass didn't look at the email. My because they sent it, I had like several emails, so I put the one for organization, but like I really don't like because I put everything so it falls to my I ask people to always send things to my personal email, so I really don't ever pay attention to that. So I was waiting for it in there, and 3 months later, like I'm like okay, so I went, I was like okay, so I paid for this, but I haven't received it. And then they was like, "We sent you an email a long time ago." And then I went on the email that they sent it to. It was there. I was so mad. I was like, "Damn it!" Because I could have paid like a late fee, and I still would like not spend like double. But
Damn.
yeah, I know. I was like, because I worked so hard. Oh my god, I worked so hard for that. That I was so upset with myself, but it's okay. I mean, at least I'm more aware of like, okay, I need to check everything because now it's not only me. I can't only focus on myself. I need to focus on everything that's part of me. Which is like my other organizations and stuff. So I had to pay more attention to that. But yeah, you guys should definitely do that because the idea sounds really good. So like from what I have the understanding of, so I like that. I would spend money on it. So
Yeah.
because also you can't you could do it eventually too. You can what's it called? What's it
You
called?
gotta spend money to make it, right, Victoria?
What?
We gotta spend money to make it.
Yeah. Well, you have to like. I was gonna say that you can like partner with something else, like my organization, and we can like help each other and stuff. Because it kind of like but or you can also since you have a lot of friends that are like out there and stuff, there you already have a lot of publicity. What's it called? Like you literally like you could get um free publicity. What is it called? So where when you like have
Publicity.
somebody to promote it. Yes, there we go. Sorry, I couldn't say that. But yeah, that way you can get like people to get involved because now that you know, you're younger, your risk it's a lot, lower than like that you like, you in 5 years and stuff. That's what I'm saying. Like now that you're like you have this time for yourself, you really like you have to still work and do all these things, but I feel like now you're not like focusing about hanging out with your friends or like what everybody's doing. You're more focused on like what I have to do, and all this stuff. So I feel like this is like should be, you should like if you can if you want, you should focus more on it and get more into it because economy it's downwards and stuff, but it can help your business because it's like you're not investing as much. You don't have to invest as much, so then when things economy goes up, then you can people are gonna invest more on your stuff and you're gonna and you're gonna get more earning out of it. You know what makes sense? Sorry, I'm like
Def-
like, 'cause things are cheaper now because the people are just trying to sell. Like, for example, you can buy your T-shirt for a cheaper price than before. I mean, than before, because it's like they're just trying to sell it. So that give you like that can help you like produce more, and then not sell out more for later on, because later on you might not be able to buy as many T-shirts, or spend as much time, because you're gonna be having other things. Because you have it's a term that's used in economy, but it's basically where you do something to, like, you don't have those things that hold you back, like that you like not what no it's like responsibility or priority that before seem more important or are actually more important, but because you have this advantage right now, you it can like multiply, or like it can grow a lot bigger. Like you can do more with that idea.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah, so I get like
yeah. I do too. But
so what
um, so did you graduate or you going back to college?
I went back to college. I'm doing I last semester was my first one. um and I'm doing yeah, so I started the beginning of this year, and then I'm doing summer classes right now, and then I'm taking more classes in the fall, and then I'm moving out. So I'm so
Where
excited
you
because
moving?
still have 2 years. What?
Wait, you're moving now? You're moving now?
Yeah, I'm moving.
Where? Where you moving out to?
We it's called like Marietta. It's really nice, like, and it's so cheap, so because we're like that, so we need to. But yeah, because I
Who you
want to
moving
start like
with?
my best friend. She's really responsible.
That's so good.
I know,
Like,
isn't it exciting?
what are you moving out?
When I think by like 2 weeks in 2 weeks in August, because we need to like because we have so many options, and we have already talked to like the people to see, and like set up a lot of like things to like get, because we're closer to like making like signing a lease type of thing, like we're still like
Yeah.
doing the paper and stuff. But yeah, so I don't know, it's cool because I know it's gonna be a lot harder, but I feel like it's gonna help me grow as a person, because I'm
Definitely.
gonna start understanding like what really the world out there it is. And actually it's not as hard as you might think. Like, we're looking, and it's not expensive, or it's not that hard to like do the paperwork. And then also you can like you can like make so much out of it. Like, for example, and stuff, and like I can train people there. So
What did you say?
oh, can you hear me? Oh, but basically, like, because like this place, it's gonna give us more opportunity, because we're finding ones that have pools and gyms, and then what I can do, invest on it basically by training people in my gym.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's smart. That's smart.
So you probably get more clients than that.
They are like the gyms are really big, so like that's kind of like something that we're because I already train people, like like 3 times a week, and if I get like 4 people, I can even pay for the rent in like less than 2 weeks. So, but yeah.
Oh, and that's on top of your job, right?
Yeah, like, yeah, exactly. Because I do also sell things too, like candles and stuff. So, that's not as much, but it is here and then, like, $10, $20,
I mean, yeah, money's money. Like you gotta be hustling for it, and then
always. Yeah, that's
And the thing is too, if you do, and like for anybody, whoever does like move into their own house or buy something like a new car or whatever, and then you waste a lot of money. It's like now it pushes you to do more, to like sell more, to train more people. So
it literally motivate you, because it's like now you have a higher risk, like there's more things involved in it. And I don't know, that's funny, because I've been learning about that
I've been learning about that on my economy class, and basically that's kind of what I said. Like, as your, as your expenses become higher, does your like earnings, and not just because it's like, oh, I'm like spending on like nice shoes, but like because I want to like buy a house and I'm willing to work more, and then do the do the extra things and stuff, and then also like save up as well more, because it's like now they have a higher goal. Like I know that I can't be spending it on like miss couch, I don't know, like things that are not necessary, instead of spending it on that and thinking of like, oh, I'm gonna like enjoy that like the first 2 months. Instead I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna buy this, and then I kind of enjoy it for the rest of my life, or like it's gonna like follow me through the rest of my life, because like like I'm planning to later on save up for to go to to go to France. So I'm learning French, and I haven't got too well, but it's getting there. And like that's also my second goal. After I have like enough saved for like 5 months of my apartment, I'm gonna start saving like a little side in to my trip. And it's not much, so I don't know. It like in a way it's like it's realistic, and even though it's like kind of like just
No, it definitely is.
It's realistic, yeah.
But
You gotta think big to get, you know what I mean? You can't think small. You gotta think about everything you want, and you just gotta put it in play.
yeah,
You're not gonna get it tomorrow, a week, but you gotta want it. You gotta write down the goals, and it's every step, every day you're working towards that goal. It's not like you want it, it's gonna do it right now. It's not unrealistic. It can happen.
but yeah, but Europe is like pretty cheap though.
Yeah, no, I went to Italy, and I was like, why do more people? I feel like it has been programmed in our minds that doing like things like that, like traveling or owning a house, is so much harder than what actually is. In reality, it's not. Like,
It's easy.
oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. So this goes back to
It's easy till you're doing it though. Like it's all easy, but when you're in it, it becomes a bigger like it's not like getting a house. Like yes, you want to get. Oh my god. You want to buy a house, and you go to the south. The house over there are a lot cheaper. You can buy a house where you rent over here. Yeah, okay, but you get the house, and then over there, and then you have to think about the economy. So you go to Florida. Yes, the houses are cheaper. You get a lot of sun. The car is better for the cars, but then the jobs they don't pay as much. Like you know what I mean. A lot of things are all like it's like, and then your house, you're always gonna. I don't know. I just feel like it's not as easy. It's not.
I mean, I guess it depends what kind of job you have.
yeah, like I mean, like it depends, because it's like it's easy in the sense like it's possible, not in the sense of like you still have to put the work, but it's like not it's not no longer like, oh, I was trying, like I thought it was as touching the sky. Like you're not gonna touch the sky, you're gonna go through the sky, but it's like if you have if you like learn about like freaking astronauts and stuff, like like you have because it's gonna there's a way to get there, and that's where like, the easy part comes. There's a possibility, there's like things that you could do to get closer to the step that and make it happen. It's not just like a person like me who never go to France, like, but instead of like a person like me is gonna work to go to French, because I know that I could, if I want to, or if I work hard enough. So it goes back to like, I think that's kind of like inequality. It's like sometimes like because we let other people, not other people but other things, like describe who we are, or tell us our limitations, we are set to that. Like we just constantly repeat the same patterns, or try to like do things according to that reality, like because it's like that you're not smart enough, you're not gonna study more, or you're not gonna aim for like a higher major, or like a career, because it's like you tell yourself like, oh, maybe I'm not gonna learn that, like I'm just kind of stupid. So but it's instead like, if I work like a little bit more, then I'm gonna be able to get it, because it like if somebody else can do it, I can do it as well.
Yeah, I know. And that's a good mindset to have, because that people they see like, oh, they figure out that some things are cheaper than what they thought, or easier than what they thought, but then they understand that even though it is a little bit more money, that they're gonna have to do more hours, do like a little bit more on the side to like really like keep up with it, and kind of grow. And that is, damn, that is growing as a person. But you're spending a little bit more money, or you have to work a little bit more. it's not necessarily taking away anything from your life, because if you could own your own house, why not do it? Like, you know what I'm saying? If you could travel to a place that you never been to, with the love of your life, for your kids or whatever, or your best friends, why not do it? Like, would you rather just travel to California or Florida or some other place for like the fifth time? You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, I never been to California and I want to go, but if I had a chance to choose, I'd rather go to Europe instead. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just a more exotic place.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know the languages, so I feel like it's kind of cooler and more better experience wise to go there and then experience that than to like California. Even though I do want to go to California and like Texas and stuff like that, but um, I could do that. I could do that very easily than going to like Europe.
But and also I think that when we because the thing about it, how you said, like, it's not like you're wasting time because like you're working towards something that you want, but also it's like that time you're spending it better than you were before. Like, what were you doing before? Is before that, now that before having to work extra hours just so you can achieve that goal. Like before, for example, you might be on your phone like a lot, like you spend like, for me, I spend a lot of hours on my phone. And then I always used to tell myself I can't read that book because I don't have enough time. And then when I started limiting the time that I was spending on my phone, I got 3 books read, and I started painting more and stuff like that. So because I stopped doing something that wasn't creating any value or any much value to my life, I was able to create or make something else much better for me. Um,
Yeah,
run, even though it was kind of boring, and it was hard at the beginning because it was like, because your brain is designed to like get constant stimulus. And since we're not getting that in life like as much as you want, because like you get it so quickly, but here it's like you have to do a lot. Like, for example, to get reward, you have to like work a lot more and stuff. And that's why people like think life is boring, because it's like you have to be patient, you have to like have enough peace within yourself that you're willing to like wait a year or something, I don't know, or not a year, but like a few weeks to like see the results, of the things that you have been working so much for.
exactly. You gotta trust the process, because like it's like the question of where do you want to be a year from now?
Uh-huh.
Like, do you want to still be in the same place, or do you want to, you know, do be in a higher place
Mhm.
a year from now? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta do things today that's gonna change the outcome of anything that you do. So, like, if that means going to a trainer, if that means taking a French class, if that means moving out on your own to like make you work harder, if that means like demanding, asking for like a promotion in your job, asking for more responsibility, then that's what you gotta do, like, and that's the thing I was talking about earlier about change. It's like, you never know how good that change is until you really go through it. So, like, yeah. So it's just tough though, because no one's gonna give you responsibility unless you assume it yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if somebody don't think that you'll be responsible to do something, then they're not gonna be like, all right. It's always that. It's like somebody's like, say at your job, oh, we need this to be done, and they know that you haven't done it before, but you'd be like, I could handle it, I could do it. They're like, sure,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm sure. All right, you can do it. But in their head, it's like, all right, if he fucks up, he's not doing it again. So, but it's our responsibility of, all right, we're gonna give him a chance because he deserves it, and everybody deserves a chance. So we're gonna give him a chance, and if he fucks up, then that we definitely knew that because he didn't know it. We might teach him. We might give him 2 chances. Next time, if he fucks up, he's done. But we got to give him that chance to see what he's actually worth. You know what I'm saying? Because if and I think that's I used to work at Market Basket, and I wanted to be. Well, I didn't really want to become a cashier, but I knew that I could do it. But I never told my manager like, hey, I want to be taught how to be a cashier. I never did that. I was like, you know what? I'm just um, be here as a bagger, and just let my time at Market Basket like just go along easily, because I know I wasn't gonna stay there for a long time. But it was just the fact that like I should have like assumes more responsibility. It's like, hey, I can hand the register, like train me on it. I'm like, you sure? Like, yeah, but I never did that. I used to ask him like, oh, am I ever gonna be registered? I registered? I don't know. I'm like, I'll laugh it off, but you gotta be serious with your goals. You gotta be serious with what you want. You know what I'm saying? You can't be shy. You can't be submissive. You gotta be demanding. But,
That's funny that you said that because I actually had into like a little argument with my parents about it. They were saying like the reason why we are kind of they basically were discouraging me from doing taking a decision, and it's because they fear that I'm gonna mess up. But I'm like telling them I had this I created this metaphor of an umbrella like and it's raining. Like if they always have me under umbrella, and then tell me that the rain is gonna like start hurting, then I'm never gonna get out. Like if they don't let me, if they always like protecting me and not letting me touch the rain, because what if I like the rain and like to just sing on it like or dance on it and stuff like that. Like I want to feel the rain in my body and like be like water. So in
yeah,
a way, it is like if not willing to like just I don't because it's like I just want to know that they're gonna be okay with me taking the decision. And it's like at the same time it's like I shouldn't want for their approval, but at the same time they mattered so much to me that I think that I'm holding into that, and because of them I'm kind of holding tighter to them so the water doesn't fall, and then they get more mad at me because I even let the water touch me even though I wasn't supposed to. Like maybe it's just like it's just about like just kind of like just telling them like, hey, like I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna see how the rain, and maybe the rain is not gonna hurt me, and maybe that's why they told you and that's why you're so scared and you haven't gone out of the umbrella. So
yeah. Because
like,
the older generation like really listens to the news, like it's the Bible. So
mm-hmm,
whatever they say on the news is like, oh shit, like it must be what it is. But the media is all about entertainment at the end of the day. It's all about keep people like, amused and listening to them and distracting on like, cause if you think about it, like a lot of times you see something on the news, like they say whatever, but it's like how do you really know? But besides that, it's like the only job for parents and their children is to raise them in a way that they're respectful, responsible, and that that they'll make the right choice. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like so if you don't trust your kids to make the right choices, then like it's like you can't setting them up for failure because
exactly,
if they go into the world and they meet some random stranger and they're willing to trust them, how does a random stranger trust your child, but you don't trust your child? We're making the right choices. You know what
mm-hmm,
I'm saying? So it's like you gotta like understand your child. Like you gotta understand like when if you know they're not gonna listen to you to a certain extent. If you know that they're gonna go out when they want to like and don't really care, or if you know that they're gonna chill with certain people that like aren't gonna be good for them, or they're gonna do like certain like things that you don't agree with. Like they're still your kid.
yeah,
And same thing with children and their parents. Like they're kind of like kids and but older kids. You know what I'm saying? But just with more responsibility in the kids. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Like just imagine like girls or just boys too who have kids at 16. Like they're still babies. They're still babies and having kids. Like, but they gotta assume responsibility as an adult. You know what I'm saying? And they gotta grow up because they have to. So,
yeah,
but it doesn't mean that they're like fully grown or that they truly are adults yet. But they gotta act like it, and
yeah,
that's crazy.
yeah,
But but your parents would definitely they just want you to be safe. They want you to not get into any trouble, not get sick. But like you said though, you're gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to trust you, and if they don't like the change, then like what can you do?
yeah, it's true. Because it's like, in the end of the day, you're writing your own book. You're not writing theirs. If they can, I mean, they were part of it, but that doesn't mean they're the one writing it or like, deciding what's gonna happen next. Yeah,
Exactly. It's like yeah. Like it's an autobiography. It's not a documentary.
yeah, Yeah, because also the thing that and when I took psychology, they talk a lot about like it's kind of like everything that you do or who you are, it comes back to your parents, but then at the same time it's like how you said, like they just teach you like what they know best, like what like they taught them basically, and it's like how can you be mad at them for for like even like does it matter so much, like if it happened, it already happened. Now you can't let the reason that things didn't work out, or like the reason why you haven't made the decision, their fault instead of yours, because even though they say something during that time, that doesn't mean that you should like believe yourself that that is what what it is. That's like the only truth to it, like because I know like my parents, they used to like they used to talk like used to joke around like I'm stupid and stuff, and, just joking and shit and stuff. But it's like it did affect me for a long time because of that, because I was like the clown, I was a joke. I felt like
Yeah,
yeah, I felt like I wasn't capable of doing more because I was a clown, or I was like, that like, oh, she doesn't know what she's saying, or like you're not that smart.
yeah,
It's like that. I for a long time I let like things the things that they say describe who I was, and then because I believe that I was that, I continue to follow the same patterns, and it like literally it took my really good friend, like first when I'm moving in, him to like understand that like I'm a lot smarter than, like even though people told me for a long time, I didn't believe it. At school, like that's why my teachers would get so shocked, be like, Terry, like why are you applying yourself as much? Because I will be the one getting on the board and explain everything to people, and like be the teacher. I was always the teacher. I wasn't even the teacher pet. I was just the teacher. Like I
yeah,
owned the classroom, and it was because I knew my information. I did work harder because I knew I wasn't smarter, but at the same time, I limited myself. Like I put myself into like, because I'm a clown, I know this, like I can go as much as this, I didn't push myself to like more that I could, so I don't know, it's just weird because it's like when you think of like, oh, like the reason why I am like lazy is because my parents were lazy and they just didn't tell me to do anything, so they kind of like made me lazy basically. But it's
yeah,
like, okay, that happened, and it's just that was something that they did. But now that you're on your own and you can make your own decisions, then why you continually doing the same thing that you dislike, or the reason why you're not getting higher just because that was their reality, and you making it your own, but it's not really what you want or what it's for you.
yeah. No, that's very true because that it happens a lot. Like the people who you surround yourself with, like daily, you start to like pick up their habits and their characteristics at some point, and they pick up yours. So it's weird because like it's like they who they are, and then you guys slowly like pick off certain aspects of each other that you equip yourself with. So you see yourself more in them, and then they see themselves more in you. So it's like that's weird.
Yeah, it's weird because I actually, it's so funny. Okay, so I've been in situations like that where I'm like, am I really a person? Like, am I just like my environment? Like, I thought I was my environment for a long time. So like, I didn't think like, I was somebody else's perspective as well. Like I was like living like what I was thinking what somebody was thinking. I was being like somebody was, because I feel like myself wasn't the right one. Like I wasn't like a person that was like me being was not nothing. It was me. It meant nothing, like on a way, because it's like I didn't think that other people could look up to me, or that my actions would affect them to the point where like they kind of like were following or looking up to me for like, or looking for answers, because I would never thought that somebody else could like see me as greater than I could see myself.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah. But that thing would come with confidence too. Like
Mm-hmm.
um, like if you're not confident in your skills or your abilities, then like you will never see yourself as like that teacher or that that successful student. Because the thing about teacher student balance is that the teacher was a student and the teacher not teaching another student who will become a teacher. You know what I'm saying? So it's like boom, like it's a role reversing relationship. It was like the teacher is teaching a student so they can become a teacher to somebody else. You know, and they say too that like whoever you teach also teaches you. You know what I'm saying? They learn from you and you learn from them. So it's like a win-win scenario. So there's always something that you pick up. There's always something that they could give to you, even though they're asking for you, like for your knowledge, something like that. So because since everybody's different and their perspective are like similarly, slightly different, it always gives you that extra like angle at a at a at a different perspective.
Yeah,
So it changes you. So it changes you a little bit, you know.
yeah,
So
because it kind of goes back to like learning from others. Because it's like sometimes even the emotional part, like when you see like for example your mom, you like you kind of like a still, like once still like jokingly and stuff, and then like you see somebody steal to your mom, like they like somebody like stole something that meant for her, and I was saying you see her pain and you're like, oh wow, like that's how it feels, like that's kind of like the consequences, and like your mom teaches you like don't steal because she went through a situation. She's teaching you to not do something that that's bad, and also you're getting to see it from like another perspective, which is like the emotional part, because it's not only you can feel anger by like somebody stealing from you, but you can feel like sadness because you think to yourself, how can somebody do something like that? So it's like there's like a lot to learn from like any situation, or like any person, any lessons that is any less where any lessons is coming. And then they get to see like like they get to see it from a different perspective, like they get to see like, oh, like that affected him as well, because I feel this type of way about this situation, he's feeling this way too, and I don't want him to feel sad. So I'm gonna be extra careful so that never happens to me again, and that person don't get to see like or feel what I felt and that he felt. That makes sense.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, like yeah, it's just about learning and moving on. Like it's like how you gonna learn something and not use it? It's just a waste. You know what I'm saying? It's like dreaming about something and not setting goals to really accomplish it. Like it's just a dream. It's pretty much a thought at the end of the day. Like how many? Yeah, that's what I was thinking the other day. It was kind of crazy because it was like a little stick figure thing, but it was like he had a baby who like it said just kidding, and the next picture was he threw the baby out the wall, right? And then the next picture it goes it was one of the babies goes. Um, let me see if I can find it, but it was crazy. It was like he was talking about. Let me try to find it. But it was crazy because I was like, it's kind of crazy because that's over here. So he goes it's like this. See it?
Oh, okay, actually you
So
read it.
yeah. So he's thinking. He's like, God, that would be awful. He goes, I believe thoughts like these are completely normal in any stream of consciousness, and it's the thoughts we choose to act upon rather than those we discard that really matter. But I still can't believe what dwells in the dark reaches of our minds. It's a human aspect we ultimately have to embrace. You are an extension of myself. I am sorry for these thoughts, my beloved child. So the last one was just him talking to his baby,
Yeah.
uh, but it's crazy though
Okay.
because
Yeah, action. It's all about action.
yeah, because like everybody has fucked up thoughts, but it's like on if you act upon the fucked up ones, then you will become fucked up. You'll be a bad person. But people always have that. Even people who are like naturally angry and naturally like violent, I believe they have those like thoughts about like maybe they don't, but I feel like they have those like thoughts like, oh, should I not do this? Should it cause a big problem? Well, I'm assuming that they don't care, but I'm assuming that they do think about it though still. But but it's funny though when he goes, I still can't believe what dwells in the dark reaches of our minds. Like yeah, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. But
It's also like it makes the question to what made you lead to that thought, like why did that came across, like you have some sort of like anger, social like bad anger to that child, like that kid did something that affected you or triggered you in a farther level, like maybe they broke your like your favorite cup, and that's something that your mom did, or something that happened to you such a long time, but you had so much anger because it reminded you how you felt during the time, because that was your favorite cup, you know?
that definitely valid. Honestly, I think sometimes like I think it does associate with like bad things happening in your life that like you um say like that situation like maybe it's a stick figure so I don't really know but uh, definitely that it relates to something in the past or something that happened in your life where like it's like you get mad about certain shit or you get mad at certain people because of certain stuff or actions. Or it might just be too that you just some a thought comes in like it's just weird or it's just like why am I thinking about that? Like why would I even think like that? Or I don't even agree with that, but it's a thought that comes up. You know what I'm saying? So I mean it's weird. It's like a just like think of if you're looking in the sky right at night and you look at the stars right the stars that are still right
Yeah.
are the constant thoughts that you have that are like relevant to you. You know what I'm saying? You think about, but then a shooting star comes by. That's like the shooting star is like one of those what the fuck thoughts. Like why am I thinking about that? You know what I'm saying? Because the shooting stars are like once in a while. You know what I'm saying? It's not constant. It's like once in a while those thoughts come up. So if you look at it like that, it's like I mean that's fine then because it just something that not that it don't mean anything because my subconscious definitely thinking about like some weird things or if then some type of feelings or whatever it may be. But
Oh yeah, I
I
see.
don't I don't think it means anything because if you don't act upon it, then it's just a thought that you have in your head. Like humans are weird, you know what I'm saying? Humans are fucked up creatures, you know what I'm saying? So if you gotta be able to live with that because you are human.
But sorry, I just want to point out because I'm like up there, man. Like that this conversation got me there. Um, oh my gosh, let me tell me I forgot it. Wait. Oh yeah, like I mean, our minds is literally just like a storage of memories. So of course, like you're able to open them. They just you're able to like think of those things because it's like even when you think of like the positive one, like you have to like kind of reach into your mind or like they just come through when you're like feeling a good emotion or something that that might be similar to that. Like if you see the sun and it's like wow, like it feels good, and then
Yeah.
it's like become like kind of positive and you get like this like flashback of like when you were outside and you were playing with your friends or like something like that, but it's like it doesn't mean much deeper, anything deeper, for the sense that it happened, and that's why like your brain is like making that association. It's not so much for like like it's just there to like say like you've been here before, or like you felt this before, even though you haven't, like you didn't do that, but you felt it this way, like that's how it felt. Because even like emotions, like sometimes like you were so happy you see somebody and you like you just want to like oh my god, but you don't do that, but you think about it, like in your mind you create this memory that of what you would like, oh that's how you like you would have seen yourself if if you could see your emotions.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm, right.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a great topic. That
Do
was
you
a
like?
great topic.
Was it good?
I enjoyed it a lot. Not gonna lie. We should do this more often.
Honestly, yeah, because I like how your brain works. But yes, okay. So last question. Do you gain any new perspective today?
I did. Um, and what I would say about that is the I believe that we think very similar. But there's certain things that how you think that I kind of procrastinate in, like the way you set up your business, the way you plan your thing, and just the the urgency that you've done it in.
Mm-hmm.
So like I really respect that, and I really I commend you on like doing things like not quick, but take your time, but also doing it in a way that you don't want to wait for like next year. You want to wait until like you have a better like amount of money in your bank account or whatever it may be. So yeah, so
You want it, she goes and gets it.
yeah, exactly. Like if you want it, you're gonna go get it. So I respect that a lot, and I'm definitely that's one thing that I've that's one perspective that like I'm really gonna try to not try, but gonna do because I started a new job, so now I'm gonna have like like cash inflow coming in regularly. So um, that being said, I'm just gonna you know like dive in and really get to work and like do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying until I get to my point, and then quit my job, and then I'll be
Yo,
an entrepreneur, and and then we'll do more of these once a week at least. And yeah. What about you?
Well, you give me a whole new, I don't know, like everything that you were talking about, because I got to see. I always wonder what was kind of like what was your situation on the sense of like your life, like what was your story. Even though I don't have the full story, I have a better um like view, and it kind of like what's it called, strengthen my own belief and perspective, because it's like now, now I feel like this podcast was for me, because I feel like I was where you were, I felt the way that you felt. And basically I feel like right now you're like we're in the same path, not the same path, we're similar path. And you're like I'm a step a bit ahead when it comes to like that, like what what you got out of it.
Yeah,
But aside from that, like when I saw your Snapchats, because that's kind of how I got kept touch with you.
yeah,
Like I that was me. Like I see myself, like every time you talk about something with so much passion, I was like, that's me, like. And I
yeah,
thought that you were like, man, I put you on the what's it called, on like the top of,
pedestal.
yeah, on a castle. Like I was like, this man is a king. Like he's doing this. Like oh my god, I was like, I was so proud of my brother. Like it's just like this is so crazy. Like this person is like like I'm like we're like similar. Like like not only like in the sense and the life, but we're like brothers. Like we connect
yeah.
and every in a different level and stuff. And it's like we can count of each other if that's the case. But I know it's just crazy, because I was like, wow, like you inspire me, no cap.
No, no,
Uh,
no. But you inspire me too, though. You inspire me too.
You
Like,
inspire me before I inspire you. Like I was just like, wow, like this man.
Isn't it crazy to think like like we weren't like raised together, like we've always kept in touch, but like we never were raised together, and then to see like to have the communication together, and like to kind of see how we act, like like wow, we're so much alike, like we've never.
Sisters, like this is not only because it's like, because before I feel like I was okay, so no cap, I was really mad at dad, because I felt like he just said I was your dad, but he didn't want to do like what dads do. And like
Yeah, trust me, yeah.
yeah. And then it's like it kind of, it was hurtful, because I was like, I don't love him, because I do love him, but I don't love him because he's not putting the extra like step to get
Yeah.
to get to know me, and I in letting me get to know him. Like I thought you guys were just like other people that he cared more for. And like
Yeah.
because it's like of you guys, like I feel like wow, like he doesn't he's not willing to like do what he did with them. But at the same time, it's like as I got older, I realized your guys' story, like you guys were really like the creator of the story.
Yeah.
You guys were like the first kids and stuff. And so you got to see that for like more than I did. Or like my your older sisters too. And it's like I feel like you guys were just strangers. Like I was like, I don't care for these people.
Yeah.
Because I was like, they don't care for me. And then it's like, why would we care about each other? But it's like, when I finally went there, I was like, like these people are like, because that tried to always get us together and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it that. Like that's just normal. But it's like when I saw you guys, like, oh my god, like this is so cool. Like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
when you came, I was in France, so
Yeah, I know, but like because I seen your Snapchats, and then I saw
Yeah.
you like, in FaceTime, and so I was like, oh my god, like he's there. Because I didn't tell you, but I mean, but I'm a big fan of Friends, like, and I know you've been there, because I know I follow your account for traveling to
yeah,
France.
travel with me, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, like this one say, like you inspire me, because you were doing something that I always wanted to do. I've been trying to learn French since like what is it, fourth grade. Like I was like, this is my language. Like because I thought it was a language of love. I was like, this is my language. I am love. Like I want to speak love. So I've been studying French for a while, but it's still getting there. My English, I don't know. I'm learning a lot, but
It's hard when you're trying to learn all 3 languages.
yeah, I know exactly.
Yeah.
No, but you're very good at English though.
Oh, thank you, I appreciate it. I try because I'm telling you, I've been reading. I like read. I love reading because it's like when you read when somebody write a book, it's literally telling the best or the whole story of something, and then they're just making you like we all you having to go through it. Like they're showing it to you. That way you can be like, look, this is what it was. So I don't know. It's just like it's really cool, but yeah, I really I don't know. I wish like I was like thought like I want.
I wish you were closer.
Yeah.
I wish you were closer. I wish you were closer. We always say that. But if you get your apartment, let me know. We'll book a flight. We'll book a flight and we'll come see you.
I'm living.
I swear to God, you tell us.
But I don't know. It's just crazy because I feel like this because now that we're getting closer and stuff, like I'm getting to like learn more about from you guys' perspective, and like you guys are teaching me as I'm teaching you something, so it's pretty cool.
Another thing too, like when you bring up like our relationship with our father, and like you felt like he cared about us more, like is in a way like it's really easy to feel like that, you know what I mean? Because in our own way, we also, like we always lived near him, you know what I mean? But we never lived with him, you know what I mean? Like my mom and him were together.
Yeah.
Growing up, so like Papi, like we'll see Papi like every other weekend, and like it wasn't like like we seen him more than you know what I mean? But like a lot of time, like we didn't feel like we never felt like how do I want to say it? And like I don't want to say it in like a mean way, like in a bad way, like.
You guys spent good time, like quality time.
Yes, we spent time with Papi, but like it wasn't like we did a lot of things with Papi. Like Papi never took us to the beach, and like with Papi's always been there. Like you know what I mean? Like, well, like I don't know how to explain it. Like,
no, I know what you mean. It's like you haven't like fully like got to that connection of like that and no.
But Papi's all about business. Like like you guys. Like I was saying that like right before you got doing the beginning of the meeting, I was like, you can't deny she's Papi's daughter. You can't deny like you are Papi's daughter. Like the way you talk, the way like you and Nicholas, like you guys are just like Papi. Papi only thing Papi talks about is business, money. We grew up at every single barbershop in Lawrence. They know us. Every barbershop, they know our names. Cause we grew up in every barbershop. Papi would pick us up from Sunday, right? And what do you think we would do all day?
Wow, we're
going to work with him.
Wow.
He'll bring us to work. We used to get so mad. We don't want to go with Papi. Papi's gonna make us go to work. Mommy, we don't want to go. Oh, we'll be with Papi. We'll come. Mommy, can you pick us up? We're here at the barbershop. And then mommy will come argue with Papi. All you want to do is bring him to work. Okay, I need to work. That's all all Papi does every day. Victoria, every day. Right now, after you guys are done like your work, you doing your video chat, I'm gonna call him because supposedly it's Dominican Father's Day.
Oh shoot, I didn't even know.
Yeah. So when you're done recording and stuff, I'm gonna call him so we can say hi. I haven't talked to him on the phone in a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't. I feel bad because he put my picture in his profile, and I was like, damn. He's trying to like, look, I care.
Yeah. How long have you not talked to him?
Like months. Like
months? Really?
Yeah, not 3 months. I think 2. I don't know, like, cause yeah, I feel like it might be that. Cause I'm just like that. Like I cannot distance myself, but it's not because anything against that person. It's because it's like we don't have anything to talk about. So until we have to that point where like, oh, let's do this together, or like, remember when we did this? I miss you and stuff like that.
Yeah. Or making the effort to go see you, or for you to come see him.
Yeah.
I know. Trust me, I know. Bro, we live the town over, and we don't see him. Bro, on Father's Day, on regular Father's Day, Victoria, he wouldn't even see me. He literally went to go work. I was so mad. I was like, bro, on Father's Day, you can't even take a time out to see me. So I went to go. I told him I'm gonna get ready. I'm gonna come see you. So I got ready. I called him. He's like, oh, I'm in Lowell. I'm like, what the hell? He's so annoying sometimes.
It's harder too. That's the thing. He makes it hard to like.
Yeah, he does. Porque solamente hay que trabajar. I can't. What's good?
Like I remember when like I went out, he worked too, and I was like, what is he doing? Like I went, I left mad. I was like, no.
Nothing at home.
Like
I want to do something.
my mom got some mad too. He like, how can you do this? You know, we were the one that went there. Like he didn't pay for anything or he
And
didn't
there was up.
do any extra anything like to spend time. Like he didn't plan
It's
it.
like 96 degrees out.
I don't know. It was because of my mom, but that's what kind of like why I was like, this man doesn't
I
care.
texted
He
Ambro.
doesn't care.
I texted Ambro, but Ambro never texted me back.
He doesn't know how to be a
I
dad.
invited to the other kids
So
both
he
up
get
to
mad
bed.
about it
He
because
doesn't respond back.
it's just who he is. So
Yeah.
Remember that guy that we were dating?
Yeah. So like, it's annoying. It's like, but then again, like, how I think about it too is like,
How do you know?
no matter what, that's my only father. Obviously, like you said, like you haven't talked to him in a long time. I haven't talked to him in a long time either. But you know, it's just another thing. Like it's like now when I do have kids, I know how I want to act when I do get kids. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that he's a great father. Like, he supports financially, and I guess mentally for me a little bit he does because like whenever I used to work with him a lot.
That's what
So
I
like
say. That's
he'll
all
give me like talk and stuff like that. But it sucks too because I didn't know my Spanish, so I couldn't like really talk to him.
I want to go there so bad.
But like he did, you know, he is very smart and very like wise, but in certain aspects, you know what I'm saying. Emotionally, maybe not, but financially and mentally, definitely. But
I was just waiting for you to get up.
yeah, I don't blame him for who he is. I don't. But like if I don't feel like,
Where is he?
if I don't think about texting him, talking to him, I'm not gonna do it. And if I'm guessing he don't do that either because he hasn't called me in a little bit.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
So what?
Like I don't blame him for who he is.
So what? Now you have to go drive.
I'm not mad about what he does, but I do my own thing. And if he wants to communicate with me, or when I feel like I want to communicate with him, I will.
No, but I'm saying because I didn't know how you pick up your car.
That should be often, but you know how it is.
Because think about how can he drive your car?
And does your mom have a husband now?
Yeah, she's been married for.
Ask him if we can do something today.
Years. They've been 18 or 19 years.
Yeah. So like my mom never like. Well, she
that was fun yesterday.
Her husband now, they've been together for like 6-7 years. But he don't live with us, and he's very like not shy, but very like quiet.
That's it.
So like for father figures, it was mostly outside people, outside the family. You know what I'm saying? Well, most of my uncles, like most of my uncles were most of my father figures and stuff like that. But I deadass had to do a lot of things on my own growing up, as in like not becoming a man, but just like doing things independently and doing things on my own. Like,
we're on video chat with my sister.
Other than that, though,
we're on video chat with my sister.
Yeah. Oh, really? I still love Bobby. At this time, it's
See.
I can't believe I talked to him in 2-3 months though. That's like Vito.
No, my brother, older brother, he's
mad at him.
Vito barely talks to Papi ever.
Yeah, I can tell when I saw them.
Ricardo.
What happened?
That's my little brother.
I could tell like you guys were a little different, like relationship wise, you know, like with that. Like with Victor.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
I know. She said you look like me.
Nah, she does. You guys look alike.
I always say that. Like my friend was like, "What are you doing in Mexico?" That's my big sister. It's like, you got a sister? It's so funny.
But yeah, Nicole, I'm gonna get ready.
Did you talk to Salma?
Meet up with you because I'm not wasting
No, kind of. I talk to her like once in a while. We always talk about making plans, but it's like we don't really. I don't know. We kind of like we're broke, you know. So we're taking a little bit.
Ricardo, what are you guys?
And then
no late.
Where does she live?
In New York.
That shit was fun, bro.
I know she lives in New York.
Right? That shit was fun.
Yeah, because she told me like she was like there. Yeah, she was there. Because I know she went to a different school though, but like a little bit farther. And she was telling me it was making it hard because she was staying with her grandma or something. Yeah, but yeah, she seems good. I really didn't have a close relationship with her, even like when we were in Dominican Republic. Like it was kind of like she would come and then we just like play for like an hour and then they would leave and then I wouldn't see her for like a year and then she would come back and we'd do something. So I don't know.
Wait, who's older, you or Salma?
Someone was older for 10 days. 10 days.
I wish that I'm going to go
That's
swimming.
good.
You see, he's a player, man.
I'll hit you up.
I like
Oh,
this
yeah.
man didn't care. He was like, let's go. Let's go.
But it's funny though, because me and Brianna are 13 months apart. So we're Irish twins.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, I'm glad. I'm glad.
Did you
Yeah, we all came out, so that don't
Yeah,
matter.
exactly. And we all came out good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We're all
he will be
smart,
proud if he
I
knew
didn't
it.
even know that they sold that market basket.
but
Okay,
what?
I was going to say let's end up recording that way we can
I'm gonna
like
get
talk
ready
to Dad.
now.
So,
I'll hit you up. Wanted me at your house?
All right. So
Ask your
oh,
dad.
conclusion.
thank you, Victoria, for giving me the opportunity to talk on this YouTube channel
That's
or
what I'm saying.
podcast or whatever it may be.
Podcast.
Podcast.
You can
And
come,
I hope we do this
what
another
J.I.
time.
doing?
It was a good conversation
And,
with
and
you.
bro,
You're a queen.
where's the broken
And
hand,
I'm very
guys?
proud of you.
Oh, thank
Is he
you.
okay?
Thank you for actually being here and being here for 2 hours and 27 minutes. I am so proud of you as well. We're gonna continue talking, but thank you. And if you guys like this, let me know. And I hope it touched somebody, and maybe give you a different perspective. Well, bye.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.